All right. I'll admit, even for me, having an earthquake nearly knock down all of our Menders huts right before we face down the apocalypse could lead to a bit of a problem, especially if our town hall had fallen apart, because that would have been horrible. That would have been really bad, because then we would honestly have nowhere to put any of our commoner pips, really, other than a few little tents kind of shoved to the sides. And we're kind of in a bit of a problem right now since we happen to have 4 homeless pips. I may indeed have to go ahead and promote a few pips to being buy your cheese layabouts, because I can't build them a new house. I can't, because to build a new house, we would need to kill some bunnies. And I guess I could kill some bunnies, but the consequences of that would be immense. And I cannot help but feel that this is indeed a punishment from the forces of nature themselves for having taken in that hunter to our group. Perhaps the forces of nature thought that we were going to turn our backs on being shamans and, not killing the animals. So that was a warning, a threat that nearly knocked down the entire center of our town. Huh. Hopefully we'll be able to push our way through that, and hopefully our pips will be able to hold on. And even though it is the bitter chill of the middle of winter as we head towards the apocalypse itself, hopefully they will be able to wait until City Hall is built and we are able to have more room for our commoners to stay. And if that doesn't work, I will frantically go ahead and turn them into buy your cheese pips. So, otherwise, hopefully that bitter chill of winter, which is extremely strong, I'm a little worried about that, not gonna lie either. Hopefully that bitter chill will be driven away soon as we have Lynx the Loyal learning how to tend to the hearths themselves, which makes me pause just a second and go, wait a second, do I have it? I don't think I have anyone making blankets. Okay. Hang on here. Blankets. Okay. Do we have like a loom? And okay. All right. Okay, blankets. The hearth is not going to work if I don't have blankets. I need to find Taylor for blankets. Whoa, boy. How far away are we from the town hall? Let's see. Let's see, that would be, we're like 2 days away from town hall. Okay. We're gonna sink our feet into this, and we are going to just carry on the way we've been going. But I may have, unfortunately, not paid attention. And I do think that now I am going to be frantically building another cloak maker. Oh, I already am. Okay, good. Look at that. I was pre-frantic before the franticness. It's almost as though I had an omen of trouble of my own. But speaking of all of that, perhaps it is time to repair a few things. Gather some of the rocks that our wonderful rock collectors have gathered, chop some of the wonderful wood that our carpenters have prepared for us, repair a bunch of things, clear away some of the ruins, and then do our best to try to repair what we can, I suppose. Oh boy. I see an unknown event coming upon us. Oh, Elder, even more to grapple with. It is almost as though I am indeed having to have quite the serving of hubris. Having humble pie, you might say. Because I was totally like, oh, bah ha ha, it'll be fine, whatevs. Like, now I need more rocks than I think we can really get. Oh my gosh. I need more stone. I mean, but you need to have somebody trained to collect the stone. So this is going to be a bit of a problem. No more bricks, Dinomance. I know that you have become quite literally a founder of much of our wonderful village by being a brick maker who was previously an amazing healer. But we kind of need to maybe not. I might leave the houses shaking, but fix the Menders huts. And hopefully be able to build another buy your cheese house over here in a little bit. I have to build another leisure area over here. Well, in for a penny, in for a few pounds of rabbit poo, perhaps. Oh boy, okay. At least it's lucky rabbit poo. At least we have that much going on for us. But let's have everybody who can come up and help with gaining a bunch of surplus hope. We have a ton. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal, but I would like to do that. And you know what? Actually, should I have... No, I'm not going to have anybody else do any more heat at the moment. Who is helping us out with the heat, actually? From production, from the bonfires. Okay. All right, and we're collecting a lot more wood than we're burning for once, thank goodness. Okay, we're repairing some of the huts, and actually I am going to keep going on our health protection stacking, because with the apocalypse looming in our somewhat pretty near future, I do think having over 1,000 of the protection of health will be something that we will not regret. I don't know about you guys, but I would be happy not to worry about having the sniffles, for instance. Where am I? Okay, Mad Cat, you do not need to be doing that. Instead, I'm going to send you over here and have all my healers back to work. And I just have one by your cheese pip not trained for anything. Gotcha. All right. Carrying on, my piplings. Carrying on. The good news is that we do happen... Yes! Bath tender training complete! And we also have the town hall research finally finished. Now that the boars and the cows, the rabbits, the birds, and what else do we have? The sheep and the fish have all put their heads together and shared with our druids the concept and the idea of being able to have a bit of a town hall and what's going on now. Hello? Hi, sun. Are the sun gods going to go ahead and give us something nice? Cold threat lowered. But then we have a vision of the cold. It temporarily decreased by 1. And then we have consequences from that in a couple days. Those may be good consequences if we can go ahead and fight back against, you know, losing out. Oh dear, because of heat. Oh dear. I see another unknown event coming, as though the very foundations of our little town of Downhill One Way are being shaken, because they are. And now we have City Hall. In the end, I had to get rid of my old rocking chair. Well, phooey on that, I suppose. Please tell me, oh my gosh, we might just have enough resources for it today. Oh, thank goodness. Somebody build this thing. Hopefully we'll have enough resources from what we're collecting today, I think. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so we'll build that. And then, boy, that's going to use a lot of our bricks, but that's just how you have to do it sometimes. And then let's go ahead and get a leisure location built over here. Why does it have to take so many days? But it needs to go down if we are going to be able to build these buyer cheese houses here. Because we can't build any other kind of house, unfortunately. All right, that's fine, that's fine. Meanwhile, oh dear. Well, okay. We have a lot of hope, so maybe I'm actually gonna pivot a little and have some people help out with the whole not freezing to death thing. Little worried about that, little worried. Kind of thought we'd have a little more action going on with the whole hearth tender thing before I realized that that's a ship that might sail without us. I don't know if we're gonna have that built in time. And I'm gonna be kicking myself 5 ways to, like, whatever day I can kick myself to over this. Amy Wolf's song, you do not need to gloop the glop at the moment, my dear. Instead, could you please just start a random fire, because we're in need, to say the least. Boy, okay, no lumberjack available. Panda bird. Okay, you come over here, my dear friend Evergreen, and we're gonna clear out this spot as well, so that, I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to put more leisure down to put more houses down to get more of a boost on this thing. Well, you know, it's good to have a sense of challenge to our village of Are We There You, and it does allow us to really appreciate the struggle and the strife that we were mocking. I am no longer mocking. I am struggling, but maybe just a little strifing, so maybe we can still make this work. Toby, why don't you come down and take a break from like cuddling with those adorable sheep and staying warm in your little wool barn, and I'm gonna make you huddle over this pile of sticks that has like a little ember on it instead, because apparently that might help us, you know, not die. Maybe I should make more stick piles, more huddling. Okay. Oh boy. We're gonna do our best. Do I even have the pips I need in order to go ahead and have the workshop and the fine tailor like manned? I may not even have the commoner pips. And I have a whole bunch of like poor homeless pips sleeping in the snow, like with the cows. Look at that. Poor Alaris, one of our important gardeners, and T-Chef. Oh, Alaris and T-Chef, the gardeners, sleep inside of the garden. Snoozy, fear being produced as they are indeed homeless. Because no doubt the braying of a cow in the middle of the night probably sounds terrifying. If it sounds anything like, well, actually I know what the braying of a cow sounds like in the middle of the night, and that evokes a story that my husband laughs at so much. But we were in Hawaii because I was visiting to make sure that I could like visit my grandmother's home after her passing in Hilo, like on the Big Island is where she grew up. And so we went to visit Hawaii for the first time, and we were staying near Hilo, and we were staying at like a fun little yoga campground. And it was fun until night hit and the cows started mooing because there was a cattle farm across the trees where you couldn't see because you're like, oh, beautiful Hawaiian, like jungly trees. Wow. And then right past it, like 20 feet, was a cattle farm with hundreds of cows. Do you know how hard it is to sleep? Even in Hawaii, in the middle of the night with cows mooing as though their hearts were broken. Okay. I stared into the void of quite a bitter memory. And Alaris, T-Chef, I will get you that house by tomorrow. There is at least that. I'm all toasty again just remembering it. Trust me, it was that much. Dragon King! You're gonna be our hero! You can be trained to become one of the artisans of the cloak. Oh my gosh, I really thought it was the end times. But there is hope anyway. Where's my other lumberjack? Panda Bird, if you could come... Okay, can't stop until action complete. Got it. All right, building things where we can. Whew, okay. Not gonna repair the houses or the other building thing or the other mending stations until we really need them. Maybe I'll have somebody collect some wood because we're gonna need to keep burning the wood at the moment, unfortunately. Yeah, to keep up with the bonfire. Okay. Well... Things are not as bad as listening to cows moo in the middle of the night while you can't sleep and jet lag's awful in Hawaii, but we're not going to reflect on that. Maybe this is a sign that definitely for the next village we should work on the captain and his aquatic adventures. But for now, we're going to carry on and focus, like I said, on taking care of whatever we can do for our villagers here, including... we have a lot of health, so I probably don't need to fix this field for the Mender stations to gain even more health at the moment. But at the same time, I might as well get that started. All right. Carry on, my little villagers. This elder waxed a little too back into her memories while rocking by the non-burning hearth. That's probably pretty chilly. But if you moved my rocking chair there, you don't know what kind of memories you might get rocking right out of me. You can make a lot of rocking jokes because like the city is literally like rocking on its foundations right now. Okay? Okay. The fine tailor. The sturdy blankets were so heavy it took 2 pips to lift one. If you soaked them wet, they were also a useful tool for beating other pips. Oh dear. Requires a fabric maker within 2 and leisure within 2. I'm going to just fall over. Are you kidding? Okay, because our fabric maker is over here. Nowhere near any leisure. Which means to get the fine tailor, I'm gonna need to put a leisure thing. A random, exceptionally random, one might even say, festival ground. Because again, it's the only thing I have unless there's some miracle thing hiding in our research tree. For heckin' crying out loud, do we have anything else that could... Does this count as leisure? Let's see. Peace tent is leisure. I don't think the tissue box counts as leisure. I could go ahead and give it a poke just to see. There's also the pub. The animal theater. But we don't have the book writer. But the animal theater... 4 days, 5 days. Okay, let's see. The public baths. Those need blankets too. I have been check of the mated. Durr. Let's see. Don't really need anything from cultivation. We now have the town hall, and we're building that. We don't really need the bungalows at the moment. Don't really need anything better than the porridge cauldron that we have for Windfallen. And thankfully, I don't need the skinning rack soon. So what could we use? What could we have to help prepare ourselves for the coming days and the coming challenges that we are going to face? Do I want to remove some rocks? That might have some degree of usefulness to it compared to everything else right now. Because we could get a lot of rocks, and we could also have a little bit more room to wiggle. So even though it seems odd, that's the only thing I think would really be worth putting our efforts into at this exact moment. Okay, meanwhile, I mean, maybe having another, well, no, because you have to train your stone people. Meanwhile, honestly, we have over 1,000 health protection. Okay, I might have some of our other doctor pips maybe help out with the whole like getting warm fire thing, because it seems that we have a little bit of availability in that arena. Let's see, and also maybe gathering more wood to help us stay ahead. We might actually make it on the minor cold threat that's coming up. That would be amazing. Also, is Town Hall finished? I think it might be, and I didn't notice. Which would be really silly because that was a big deal. I think it is. Yes, Alaris! You don't have to sleep in the cold anymore. No, T-Chef Alaris, why aren't... Ah! Oh dear. The apocalypse is coming. You'd better be ready for this. Stop this nonsense. I know your plans. Ah, we've got a smart elder here, huh? I won't let you destroy this village, I say as the buildings literally quake around me. There's not much you can do now. We will simply have to hope, as we face down the next hope threat, haha, that we are prepared for what lies ahead. But from the looks of it, we're actually not doing too bad. But again, maybe we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves too much, and I might spend just a moment making sure that we are at least doing what we can, where we can, even though having to build so many heck doodle leisure locations is just absolutely making my eyes cross. But alright, my friends, thank you so much for joining us on these adventures. If you would like to join us on this and literally thousands more, do please consider, well, like maybe just, I don't know, pick up a stick and throw it in a little campfire. I'm not gonna say the S word. I'm over that. I'm too grown up to do that anymore. You guys know what I mean. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.